I like to go to for the guy.
I wouldn't even say this loud, but yeah, that used to be my weakness when I was
really.
Like,
you see,
it would just grin and it would just go ching ching.
I think we should just get our special guest on, okay? This lady, this person, this entity, I'm gonna call her, because she's a goddamn powerhouse, guys, okay? She's more than just... Anyways, I've known her since I was about 10, which means that, guys, today you might get Fran stories that you didn't have no business hearing, but no, but we're here for it. She was my youth worker. She was actually one of the first like female figures outside of my family that I saw, and I was like, oh wow, this person is like, I don't know, there's just something, and you guys will see in a minute. I'm gonna introduce her, and come on, Chia.
Hello, Fran.
Oh my God, Chia, thank you for coming.
I am over the moon to be sitting here with you, my dear.
I am so, like, honestly, I'm just smiling from ear to ear. Thank you for coming. I'm happy that you're here. How's your day been?
My day has been blessed.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I haven't had much to do today.
Okay.
I'm just in a process of just finishing up from one work.
Okay.
And then starting something new next week. So the new year started nice and easy how I wanted it.
Yeah? That's good. And to be honest, I want to say I'm not surprised, because I've known you for a long time. Your energy, the way you carry yourself, your confidence, and just your out view on life. I'm not surprised that that's how you feel at the start of the year. And actually it was intentional me having you here at the beginning of the year, because I feel like just how you carry yourself and your mindset it's just I admire it in a positive way, and I just feel like I want to share that with people, the tools that allow you to, because a lot of people are stressed in January, you know.
A lot of people are stressed all year.
All year.
It just becomes more intense in January because of how society makes you feel about January, and it makes you feel about the end of the year, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, guys, on Midweek Talks with Fran, I'm trying to share gems of things that to help us stay out of these mindsets. So this is why Chia is here. And the fact that, like, you guys know I only have people on that most of the time that I actually know and I've connected with. And do you know what? Just introduce yourself to the people. Introduce yourself. Who is Chia Phoenix on Instagram, guys? Yes.
So first of all, thank you for such a wonderful introduction. That was just so sweet. So my name is Chia Phoenix, and I am a holistic creative arts therapist, as well as a creative activist, creative producer, actress. I just said that, didn't I? Creative educator,
right.
Practitioner, all things creative with other bits on the end, a multitude of things, I'd say.
And where did you grow up? Where were your beginnings from? Let's actually start
at the beginning. So when I first met you, which I think is around 2004, 2005, because that's when I had my very first job working with young people as a youth worker in Camden. Because I was kind of fresh out of university at that time.
Okay.
I grew up in West London. So I grew up in West Kensington.
Okay.
Usually a lot of people say, West Kensington, because they hear the Kensington. Yes. But, you know, grew up on an estate like everybody else. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There's a small stretch of West Kensington called North End Road.
Okay.
And there's a lot of kind of, I guess, immigrants from Caribbean, from Africa and stuff like that that lived there. So that's where I grew up.
Okay.
But it's kind of on the cusp of South London.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
So growing up, I go down south sometimes to see parts of the family, or you're kind of going into west. And then school-wise, I went to school in Victoria.
Okay.
And those days, which is slightly different to now, you could go to school in any area. We didn't have such thing as a catchment area.
Really?
Yes.
So okay. And why did your family choose Victoria? Do you know? Was that a better area?
My mum chose the school in those days. Your mum chose the school. There's no discussion about, where do you want to go. You just get told.
Yeah.
And I think at the time, the schools within maybe the area, my mum was like, I want you to just go to a next level school. So it's called Greycoats. Some people do know of it in Victoria.
Is it still there?
It's still there.
Okay. Cool.
It's not a private school, but because it's Westminster, it's kind of attached to feeling a little bit more private, like because of its base.
Okay.
But loads of black girls went to that school from North London, South London, Brixton, Angel, Islington, Croydon, like all over the place.
Yeah, because Victoria is quite centralised anyways, isn't it? It's a meeting point, and then I understand because it is a posh area, like some of like, obviously a lot of Parliament buildings are close by to there. A lot of important stuff happens. I know that the MI6 building is in Victoria.
That's right.
There's a lot of things, and then it's connected to the Thames. I mean, if you're into movies and spies and all of that, do you know what I mean? Then you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a good connect in. So you went to school in Victoria.
So it's actually at the time the Sloane Square, the lower school was actually Sloane Square at that time. And then the upper school was Victoria St James Park. And then when I finished sixth form, they changed the Victoria site to the lower school, and then they built a new site closer to Pimlico. Okay.
Because I know someone that was from South. Well, he's a different generation, but he was from deep south and went to school all the way in Pimlico.
Because there's Pimlico School, and then there is Westminster City Boys. So you had Westminster City Boys, you had Greycoats, and then you had Pimlico. And actually there was another school around the corner in Sloane Square called St Thomas More. Yeah. So, but loads of African Caribbean youths, we all went to school in them areas.
In them areas there, And do you know what? I know that what you're saying is correct about people hubbing in West London, because when my family came, the first borough I officially lived in was Hammersmith and Fulham.
Oh look,
which is on the cusp. Yeah, and I went to St Paul's Primary School, which is like under the flyover of things. So I know that to be true. But what was you like in school? Because you know what I was like when I was 10. We will try to avoid.
What was I like in
school?
What
was you like in school? Was you as confident as you were now? Is it something that built?
I think when we look at things like school, there's your opinion and there's what other people had opinions of you, right?
This is true.
Right?
Yes.
I think there's a lot of essence in me that was exactly the same. I was always into creativity and the arts.
Okay.
I always had my own thoughts, feelings and opinions about things, and then because it was like a girls' school and there was kind of a lot about equal opportunities and stuff, it was also about there was a little bit of women's empowerment there.
In
that school. So
that's interesting.
I feel like that fed into me, and I did have a lot of teachers that would say to me, you're very articulate, you need to be using your voice, but I didn't actually, when it comes to confidence, I don't think I thought about if I'm confident.
Right.
I just did the things that I liked to do that made me feel good. Okay. So doing English, doing theatre studies, doing a bit of dance, doing sport. I just did what made me feel good, and then I guess I would appear confident because I felt good doing it. But exactly. if I didn't like it, then maybe you wouldn't see the confidence in the same way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's funny when you said, how you was at school, because I do remember kind of first meeting you.
Oh my god.
Castlehaven Youth Club.
Castlehaven Youth Club, guys, actually helped save me.
An after school club.
After school club.
And it was to work with a specifically set of young people within a catchment area.
Wait, what are you trying to say? I didn't even know.
Well, so that's what it was. It was called a youth inclusion project, so it was called a YIP at the time. And it was just kind of like, I guess, targeted young people within the area that just might have needed some extra support. That's why it was after school. But you was in the under 11s group, and then I ended up working with the older lot, which was obviously they'd start to get in a little bit more trouble and stuff like that, whatever. But it's still based in old school, what we call old school youth work. It was providing a safe space and provision for you to be able to come in. And I just remember, I think, when you do this type of work and you're a person, you know, you're a black woman, whatever, you just recognize, you recognize yourself in young people that come in. So when you came in, I just remember you was confident. I remember your voice, because you had that little husk in your voice from very young.
To know this, my voice is literally it's pretty much always been like this.
And you know, you knew what you want to do and what you don't want to do. You wasn't shy. No. And if there was something that, you know, we said Fran did and you was like, I don't want to do that, we just recognised it as little black girl, innit?
Oh.
And do you remember Natalie as well?
Natalie.
So Natalie was another black worker that worked.
I think I do remember.
Because she's actually my friend.
Yeah, I think I do actually remember Natalie.
So there was just us two, and then there was, I think Teresa was Chinese, and then there was Pete. Okay. So, you know, we all came from different places and spaces. And there wasn't a lot of black children that came to that. So program. That's why I remember you. That's clearly.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for remembering me, and thank you for sharing that story. I've got so many things to like peel back on this, okay? First of all, guys, okay, yes, you guys have heard it live on air, and I've told you guys I needed support growing up, okay? And these programs, I feel like it worked. That's one thing that I want to say. Rather than start babbling like I do, I feel like the program worked because, like I said, you stood out to me, and there was something about how you moved that. Maybe it was, I don't know. Like, there was something about how you move, and it's like, oh, I want to be like that person a little bit when I grow up.
Really?
100%. Oh. I was like, there are things about this person, and I used to have another social worker. Her name was Judith. And when I met her and how she was in my life, it had the same thing. So like, I didn't even think, obviously you're a kid, you don't know that you're coming on a program. They just say to you like, oh, go to Castle Haven. And it's funny that, because yesterday I said to my brother, I'm having Chia on this to show. Do you remember her from the youth club? And he was going, no, but I remember my brother used to be in Queen's Crescent a lot. Yeah. And I just thought that the youth club was for everyone. So I didn't realise that it was like, that he wouldn't have known, because he wouldn't have come to that specific youth club.
Yeah, so Castle Haven was obviously a community centre. So the YIP was what was considered 50 at risk out of a certain age in the area.
God, the more you break down what YIP is, the more I'm like,
you're looking at it from a modern term of what we consider at risk. Remember, we're going back to 2005. This is not 2026 version of what we consider at risk.
Okay,
this is different.
Yeah.
And also the rules of engagement and working in youth clubs and stuff like that was different. Okay. Every borough had a youth service. Yeah. Every area had a youth club to go to.
Did,
you don't have that now. So it was also a space for you to be able to be social, but also, just like I said, to be able to be safe and to be able to have certain levels of support. So it's not like I knew all your business and I knew what was going on. It was just that, you know, maybe your social worker or someone that knew you just referred, this would be a good space for you to be able to come to, because we will be doing sports, there'll be activities.
Judy that referred me.
Do you know what, that name Judith really rings a bell.
I'm telling you.
Actually.
It was, and she wasn't from London, she was from like, Luton and stuff, and I remember she would speak to me about how it's, but this was before, it wasn't Luton, it's like up towards them ways there, and I remember, it was probably her that referred me there. It was probably her that referred me there.
And then what you're saying in terms of your brother, so once I worked with the older, I then became a key worker for the older. The elders, so over 11 to 16. So then we start to move in slightly different territory because of what older teenagers will be engaged in and get up to.
For those that don't know, sorry to interrupt you, Castle Haven is located slap bang in the middle of Camden Town. Like literally, it's in the hub of Camden Town. So just thinking about the area of Camden can let you know the kind of youths that were produced that you were working with. I just want to give the audience, like, you know, a little bit of a perspective about the kind of lives that you've touched and think. Because if I feel like the program worked, I know 100% those young people that you worked with, you made an impact in whatever it is. Do you know what I mean?
The reason why I was so excited to see you is because on my journey of doing this work, you hear a lot of people talk about the word purpose. I don't really buy into that, because I think your purpose to be here is to be human and to love and to care and support and stuff like that, and you can do that through anything that you do. So I don't think that your purpose is attached to what you do. It's more to do with the essence of who you are. But I do believe in the word a calling.
Clock that, people. Clock that.
And a calling is when something niggles at you. Like, I don't know, maybe when you thought about the podcast, maybe you thought about it 2-3 years ago, and it was just sitting there, and it's calling you, and it's about whether you're going to take heed of the call. So when I started working at Castlehaven, it's kind of something that I kind of fell into. I didn't plan to do that when I came out of university, because I actually got free work experience for 2 weeks in Castlehaven, and then they said, you're really good at this, and then they said, we're going to give you a job, and I was like,
I remember those conversations. I remember those whisperings, because I remember very clearly that you would come from studying and stuff, and that was another thing that stood out to me that I admired. I'm like, yo, look, because you were super cool as well. Well, first of all, like, she's beautiful. So I was like, oh my God, who's this gorgeous lady? And she got an education, and she just so yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to jump.
So I was just saying, and so over the years, it's on my path, somehow, some way, so many young people that I've worked with, it keeps coming around full circle, and I get so filled up, because it doesn't happen to everybody that you see a young person that you've worked with. Come on, you're 10, you're sitting in front of me as a grown woman with a grown
I'm going to be 34 tomorrow. Next month, 34. Sorry, not tomorrow.
Yeah. You don't expect it to happen, but it's happened to me a number of times.
Such a blessing.
And there is actually another young woman that was in the same Castlehaven with you, that is on Facebook, that does reach out from time to time. So that's where I know that, I trusted the divine in terms of the calling, and that there's something much deeper. It's not just, because I just said I just want to work with young people. There has been deep meaning, because I've seen them, and even going forward, working in prisons, working in PRUs, a school, I can walk down the street and someone just be like, yo, Chia, and I look, and they're like, remember when you came to my school and you did, and I'm like, what? And then I'm like, so how old are you now? Or, I've had guys that have just been like, yo, you remember when you came to HMP? And I'm like, wow, you're not in your great tracksuit.
Listen, them HMP guys must have been happy when they see you come through the door. Let's do, we're going to get into that, your experiences about working in prisons and stuff, because I do security, and that's one of the things that keep kind of coming up, because I can actually be a guard in a jail, but I don't know. How was it like? What was it like working in the prisons, connecting with the young people, the men there, the women there? Like, what was that like? Let's talk about that a bit.
Again, so I'll just connect the dots. So gone from Castlehaven, and then I've gone over to the Roundhouse. You know the Roundhouse. I was the first creative youth support worker at the Roundhouse. So this is now, creative youth support worker is now a specialist, meaning you need to be able to have a creative background to be able to hold and run a session if a tutor's not coming in or something like that, and then also be able to have the youth work background if the young people that come in and have any issues. So I went on to be a creative youth support worker, and I started to skill a little bit more, and that's where it started to be both sides of it, meaning working with young people, and I still get to be creative, because what you didn't realise, where you're saying you thought I was cool and stuff like that, is me and Natalie was in a dance troupe called Trauma. We just come from Luton, we'd been performing at university and stuff like that. She was an artist, Natalie was an artist, building as an artist. I was her backing dancers, so we were like those children from the 90s that was trying to be innovative, but there wasn't necessarily an industry for us to be able to go in. So we're doing this alongside coming in and working with you guys. So then fast forward, because I don't think it was until in my 30s that work progressed, and then I went to go and work at another place called Clean Break. Clean Break is also near Camden. So I worked there as well. And I was working with the young. They used to have a project called Misspent, which was young people. I just might have just missed you because Lorraine.
Yeah.
Lorraine. So Lorraine was like my mentor. Lorraine's the one who's taking me.
Guys.
Yeah. So just for anybody who doesn't know, Clean Break is an organisation it was at the time in Kentish Town, and it was for offenders and ex-female offenders, or any women connected with the criminal justice system, or other things like domestic violence, alcohol awareness, all those sorts of things. But it was a women's only space where they could access creativity, performance, and it also be a safe space. So I was a freelance practitioner there for quite a while, and then much later I taught performance level 1, so I was also one of the tutors. So then that's when I've started to do a little bit of work in the prisons, and then I worked for another organisation, and then before I knew it, I was going into Feltham. Well, actually, the first time I went into Feltham was actually with the Roundhouse. Okay. A lot of people don't realise that there's a whole sector of creative organisations that do creative rehabilitation in prisons, which is separate from standards youth work.
So as well as outside stuff like Clean Break, they've got people that go in, like Clean Break would go in and they run sessions in the jails with the people. So absolutely.
And that's what would eventually, when we get to me being a holistic creative art therapist, why you will, there's a deeper understanding to what creativity does with trauma, helping you understand yourself, creating new neurological pathways in the brain. There's a deep level to creativity that I want the world to understand and understand there's a deeper purpose to why, especially us as people of colour, are comfortable when we rap and when we sing and when we dance and stuff like that. Because actually, I think it's because we're helping ourselves through trauma because of those neurological pathways, and why we may not be able to exist in an office and certain other spaces because there's blocks and stuff in the brain. But anyway, I then ended up, like I said, running a particular project and going into Feltham, Aylesbury, ISIS, I think I did Pentonville. There's a few other, but it was mostly the male YOIs, and then going into Holloway, which is now closed down. At that time, gun warfare was rife. We're talking like Trident, if you remember Trident.
I remember Trident, very well actually.
So people was more focused on gun crime, and then there was, gang affiliation that was happening. So the work was around that. So the first day I got told I was going into the prison, I was like, okay. But you remember, I didn't plan for this. And I was told, you kind of got to go in on your own, you're going to go and do your training.
Did you feel it was coming soon though, like as an opportunity in your surroundings?
It wasn't even in my...
Because everyone around you is working around the prison.
It wasn't even in my mindset, it was just me. If I'm honest with you, all of my pathway in work, because there's a trauma aspect to my life, but I just went along with what people told me that I was good at. I didn't know what I'm good at, and the opportunities would come. So it's Lorraine that would say,
I love Lorraine.
I'm going to take you to go do this, you're going to be good at that. And I trusted her. She was a trusted adult that cared for me. And there was another lady called Emily that also used to work for Camden Council as well. I just trusted, and that's what I would say to any young people, when you find an adult that sees something in you that you can't see in yourself, trust it. Trust it, because eventually, as time goes on, eventually you will see what it is that they see in you, even if you can't see it for yourself. 100%. So I'm very thankful, forever grateful to Lorraine, because I went along with what it is that she said that created a pathway for me. But the first day that I went into the prisons on my own, and then I got keys.
I remember the keys.
Now remember what I looked like.
They trusted you with the
I was given keys, not for me to unlock cells and stuff like that.
This is why I wouldn't be a good. They need to keep me out the jail.
Have access, but I just remember now I looked like this. I had my braids and whatever, and I used to go in bright colours because spiritually I was like, I'm bringing the light. I'm this. I didn't want to be associated with what the system was. I felt like I've been put here for a reason. But I just remember the first time getting keys, I remember just pausing for a second in the yard and thinking, how comes I'm here? And like I'm on my own, like I'm just like, this is wild. And then I remember the first time I had to go on the wing, like on my own, like it was mad, like, and I'm knocking on, like, you know, like a cell, and I'm just like, hi, my name's Chia, and they would look up the catch and they would think like, who's this? Because the minute they look at you, they're thinking, who the hell's this? And I'd say, hi, you know, my name's Chia, we're running this particular project, and, you know, I know you're on general release in the next 2 years, and, you know, we're going to help with this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to sign up? Blah, blah, blah. And it was all different things. Like, I remember one guy opening the catch, and all I could see was black, and I was like, yo, step back a bit. Like, you know, see, bro, step back, and he was massive. You know, like, sometimes they ain't got no tops on, whatever. What's going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're talking about guys that are like 20, but you look like you're 6'7", and you're muscly and you're whatever, and then you've got someone walking past you here. You know, you got to be aware. But
of course.
At the same time, you just know. And then also when you come from a background where you've been on an estate, because to me a prison is like an estate. To me it's just a world inside a world. But you know, when you're just from ends, so you move like that. Most old youth workers, that's how we moved, and that's how most young people was like. You know, they'd just look at your trainers and be like, Miss Knowles.
Yeah, for sure,
And then
the White Air Forces or something like that.
Something like that.
Or the Converses, them times there, everyone was hard on Converses. What was the other ones? And what are the ones with the black? Anyways, there's a few different ones.
Well, in the prison, it's just
Harachis. You say if you see someone come through with Harachi, just say, you know what? Yeah, this youth worker knows still.
I do remember my co-worker Tash. She loved the Harachi, but in there they just was Air Force Ones out. And I remember that used to be a contention of conversation for me, of being like, why is every single one of you lot in Air Force Ones and they're all black?
Individuality.
But these are the sorts of things that you talk to them about. That it was okay to stand out. It was okay to wear something different. It's okay to wear colours if you want to wear colours. You know, it was a lot of life skill stuff. So as much as the core of the work was, you're in a gang and stuff like that, I realised on a deeper level that the gang stuff and the behaviour is a manifestation of what's happened before that. And actually because you're Congolese, I wanted to. It reminds me of a young man that I remember meeting, and I tell people quite a lot of this story about. He was Congolese. I think he's probably one of the first Congolese young men that I probably met. And I remember he used to wince a lot. So when all the boys, when you play games, you know, they got deep voices, you'd hear it, whatever it is, and he'd wince a lot. And I remember having a one-to-one conversation with him. He was probably about 21, 22. And this is when I first understood trauma, PTSD, because I said to him, you know, what's going on? And he said, sometimes, miss, when the sound gets to a place, he gets this little headache. And it's a PTSD, and it was from coming from Congo, and it was from the war, and then this coming to England, and then gunshots going off, and it's things that people really need to understand about sounds, smells, environments, and then what that actually does to you in the brain that makes other people think that you're acting out and acting crazy. But there's a lot of stuff that happens inside, and we need to educate ourselves a little bit more on understanding things like PTSD and complex PTSD, because it's peak.
In that leads me to my question. Did they train you? So obviously this is stuff that you're saying that you're learning, like your experience with that young man was the first time that you were like, started to connect it with PTSD. Going into that environment, were you trained? What level of training did they give you? Because I know as a security guard, we had the 1.5 week training. Then they tell us we can work in jail. So I just want to know, is there additional training?
Okay, when it comes to this type of work, yes, there is little aspects of training. You know, like you might do a certain training working with young people with alcohol abuse, or working with young people who've been violent, or working, you know, you have bite sides of how you should work. But if I'm really honest with you, I told you I had that calling, that connection with the divine. I was on my own spiritual journey, and I was receiving downloads and information about how I'm supposed to be able to connect, and then what I was learning about myself at the same time, and I was able to recognize it in terms of what I can see. And so I trusted that. In regards to prison training, Feltham used to give you a week training, and then they used to have, I don't know if they still do it now, but they used to have restraint and stuff like that if stuff kicked off and stuff like that. Not that, and I'll be honest with you, in my 20 years that I've worked in and out of the prison, I think once I've had a fight kick off in my room. Other than that, we never had anything. So the big up to all young people that I've worked with, because if you work with them right and you keep a safe environment, because that is a very volatile environment. Right. Other places it would be like half an hour. Yeah. You go in, it's half an hour.
And then you're in the deep end. And
you're in there, and then you're telling me that I'm working with high risk, and we didn't even have, you should have had like...
a panic button.
There is panic buttons, but we never wanted to press the panic button, because the thing is in prison is everybody gets reprimanded. So if you two had a fight, everybody in the room will get put on basic or stuff like that. So I tried to work with the boys to say, I don't want us to be able to press that button. We've got to figure out how we're going to work with each other and stuff like that in here. But yeah.
So a little bit of training, but really and truly, it was
learning on the job.
Yeah, learning your job. And to be fair with these things, because as being a young person, and I'm not a facilitator or anything, but as do you know what I'm saying, I'm interested in the field. One thing that I do know is a lot of people don't know how to speak to people, you know.
Yeah.
And that can, and how you go into a conversation, even and this is a problem I'm working on. Anyone that's listening that's like, Fran, you can't talk to people either. At is learning 2026. This is why Chia is here. But people don't know how to start the engagement, and when you're going in, if someone, like you said, have got trauma, they've got things, if they react, like maybe if that young man went like that, whoever's coming in to speak to him might be like, oh, you've moved your hand, and then they turn the whole thing left. But I imagine that didn't happen with you, because you know how to speak to people.
You know
how to,
you have to be observant of people.
Right.
I think a lot of part of this work and working with young people is observing. What are they doing? You know, what are they doing with their body language? I remember one particular session where it was the first session, and I came in and everyone's trying to act cool, because that's what it was like. And I remember I just want everyone to say your name.
And cool is always pretending like you don't want to engage as well. I don't know why that is.
Yes.
Like as a young person thing, that's just a go-to. Like, oh, I'm cool, but because I don't listen. You know what I'm saying?
But
like, I listen to you. Yeah, and it's like, bro, like,
I remember
listen to these jokes.
I'll never forget him, and I remember he was like, man's not here to say my name. Now, if we're not going to get past the name stage, man's not here. I said, listen, so what do you want me to call? And what I learned with, I guess, young males as a female worker is I was able to banter in a slightly different way than maybe a male worker. So that's when I would get a little bit fresh, and young people like you to be a little bit fresh. So I was like, so what, should I call you, because you got a spot man? I said, you know, and then the other boys would laugh or whatever. I said, what should I call you, Bigfoot? You know, like, to break it, and then they realise, because I actually want to address you by your name or what you want me to call you. I don't, like, at the very least, just tell me what your name is. Sometimes people don't know the engagement starts from the minute that you walk in the room, just getting them to sit down. And also, in the prisons, because they would bring different boys in from different wings, and obviously, you know, you've got your different gang warfare and stuff like that, they were in fight or flight all the time. So the minute a door would open and you'd have a next set, they would be ready to get up.
They're on guard.
And you'd have to say to them, chill. Because I'm also trying to help them to be able to understand there's repercussions of you. And also, we don't know who this brother is that's coming in.
Exactly. And then also, then it's going to go left, right now. Just do the session, have fun, and just chill.
Which eventually they did.
Right, so we have to move on because we're on a timing, okay? And so we've got into the prison stuff. How did you? Because obviously you said you were doing performances and stuff. So performing has always been in you. One of the things that I absolutely love about you and about your content and your page is your dances that you do. Like, so Chia has this thing, guys. You guys need to check her out. Chia Phoenix on Instagram.
That's right.
And she just dances. She just moves. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but she just moves. She just flowing, ever flowing and moving to the music. When did you discover that holding onto that energy is important, and that the people need to see it? Because I need to see that because I do that in my own house all the time. But just
Well, I used to dance when I was younger, and you know, was a street dancer and was in groups and performed and stuff like that. But I think inside, you know, because of all my stuff, I was a little bit more contained, and then also when you've got to do routines, you know, you have to dance the way someone else asks you to dance. And stuff like
I'm
that.
terrible at routines.
And I hated when they would tell you, oh, freestyle. I just used to be like, ugh, don't want to do that.
Really?
But yeah, I didn't. When I was younger, I couldn't have just got up like that. Something in me would be
it would have to be a routine.
I just did mostly routines, but if you went to like an audition, there always was like some freestyle bit, and sometimes your brain just doesn't automatically go with the flow. But I think it's pre-pandemic, maybe about 6 or 7 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
I just would get up in the morning and just hear a tune in my head. So let's just say I'd wake up and I'd hear dun, 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 and I'd hear Total in my head, and I'd think, yeah. And then I'd just put the tune on.
Yeah.
And then I started to feel like, because I started to do like a bit of ancestral work and stuff like that, I started to feel like Spirit is saying to me, this is what we want you to dance to today.
Ancestral work? Hold on a minute. What do you mean, figuring out where your roots are from?
So ancestral work is basically just connecting with some of the blood family that you've got in the spirit world, because obviously I do a lot of, you know, like meditation and connecting and stuff like that, but dance was also about freeing up energy. You know, energy can get freed up within the body, but then also I realized that it makes my frequency really, really high. So when I would dance before I went out, no one was messing with me that day, because my energy and my light and my aura is really, really high. Okay. If that makes sense.
So the dancing charges it.
You literally see me just before I'm about to head out.
Is that what the videos are?
And then I go, and then I go out. But then the more I was feeling free in myself and happy, and then my body, when you get to a place of your body starts to do its just own thing. Yeah. And then sometimes I'd look and I was like, what? When did I look on pop? It's like that. I don't think about it. Yeah. I just flex. And then sometimes some of the songs, if you read a lot of my captions, sometimes the songs have a relation to what I'm thinking about, and then I was, you know what I mean?
I make a connection with it. Yeah. I love that. And I think that is a tool that the listeners of Midweek Talks with Fran should take on for 2026. Okay, guys? Even if, and I'm going to take it on even more, and I love dancing, I love movement, I love music, even being Congolese, like just all of that stuff, so that freeing yourself. But sometimes your state of mind and life and things and your confidence and your judgment of yourself before it's even been out. I've got so much content that I've not put out because I'm just overly critical of my own self. And a part of trying to be free this year is harvesting that energy of just like,
You have to not care, Fran.
I know,
the thing is with me is, when I was young, people always said, oh, you're weird. You know, just with my ideas, you're weird, you're off-key, you're this, whatever. And when you're young, you kind of
tell me calm down a lot.
But me too. I had the same thing. You're a bit naff.
Yeah.
All of that sorts of stuff. But at the end of the day, sometimes people are projecting onto you because really inside they would like to be that free. So what they say to you because it's moving something within themselves. Because I've had people say to me, "We up there just dancing for?" I've had people come up to me in the street, "Was you just dancing?" And I'm like, "So what?" And then also because I don't brand my page. I say is just a blog. And I've kept it the same as whenever it started. Because on my journey, it was about being able to light up myself and give permission for other people to light up themselves. So I've kind of kept it the same. So then people started to message me and say, do you know what, Chia, when I see you dance, it makes me feel good. And then it makes them feel to dance at home, whether someone's watching or not. And then you know that saying, innit, dance like nobody's watching. Well, I did it, and then you can see it. That I go ham.
She goes ham. Actually, with my dramatic voice, I also want to remind people that you're also an actress. You're going on tour this year, 2026. Like, bruh, should we get into it now or at the plug? Let's quickly get into it before we get into the quick fire segment. Tell us about, because last year you was on tour. This year's on tour. Like, she's not just a youth worker. She's not just like all this other stuff. She's also a thespian on tour.
Yeah. Well, I've been acting since I was young. Lots of people think I just popped up. Me never just pop up, right? Me have a full acting CV. Me done a little bit here, a little bit there, right?
No.
I've been a writer and I've also been a director as well. So I have produced my own plays, but it's quite a while ago. And then I hadn't done any. I guess I've done smaller jobs, but I got invited to an audition this time last year and ended up being on a 6-month UK tour in a Mallory Blackman production called Pig Heart Boy.
Wow.
So toured the country. Amazing. And then I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue, like I just dabbled in, because I act because it makes me feel good, just like the dancing. So as much as I've done professional stuff, I haven't followed it like, oh, I'm gonna be an actor. I just do it because I've got the ability to do it and I like it. And then a few people sent me this audition and it said it was specifically looking for women over 40, and it's different now when you reach these ages. And I was like, oh, that feels like a little bit of me. And then I went to the audition, and basically it's called 9/16 with an S.
Okay.
It's a docu-play, and it's based around Janet Jackson's Super Bowl moment. Do you know Janet Jackson's Super Bowl moment?
Is that the nipple moment?
Yeah, the nipple moment.
Am I allowed to say that on air?
Yeah.
And the areola moment?
Okay, whatever you want to call it. We should be able to say that word. But it's kind of based around that.
Okay.
And the writer who is also in it, Paula Varjak, it's kind of a look on her own creative career alongside Janet Jackson, but then also being a black woman of a certain age and reaching like maybe a glass ceiling. So it's not like a fictional story. I'm part of like the ensemble, so there's only 4 of us in it, but we're kind of telling this story of Janet Jackson, but alongside our own experiences of being black women of this age. There's a little bit of dancing and a little bit of rhythm nation. I ain't danced like that for a little while. Rehearsals start next week.
I'm excited.
We start going on tour 2nd week of February, kind of up and down the country, and then we end in Brixton.
I saw that. I'm gonna be there.
Literally, I think the first preview is my birthday, May 19th. Big up.
Are you May 19th on February 19th?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, the 19th is quite special because my sister's the 19th as well. But it's also the same day as Malcolm X and Grace Jones, other activists out there.
What, they're 19th as well?
Yeah, they're 19th. Yeah, they're the 19th of May. Both of them are Grace Jones and Malcolm X.
There you go.
So yeah, from the 19th roughly to the 30th of May will be in Brixton House.
Okay, Brixton House, guys. We're gonna put it up. I'll put the dates and stuff along with the post, and then I'll be reposting as well because I'm gonna go to Brixton. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be sat there. But we're gonna start the quick fire segment. Okay. How are you feeling, by the way?
I'm feeling wonderful.
You're feeling good?
Yeah, I feel wonderful.
Love that. Okay, so quick fire segment. I'm gonna ask a question. You just give me the first answer that comes to your head. Okay. It's like an either or. Okay. Alright, so drama or poetry? Come on.
In it. Drama.
Okay, alright. Writing alone or creating in community?
Creating in community.
Okay, nice, I like that. Prison workshop or school workshop?
Prison workshop. I can't stand schools.
School kids are, I'm not gonna lie, kids are a lot.
Well, it's different now to how it was before, but yeah, the school environment is not really my thing.
Is it more the pupils or the teachers that you've got to work
system.
With? Fair. Okay, alright. Healing yourself or healing others?
Healing myself.
Yeah.
Because when you heal yourself, you end up being able to support others.
Come on now. I only learned that recently, I spent so long pouring into other people more than I poured into myself, and it was a detriment to everyone. So, big up to choosing me. I love that. Guys, another thing, 2026, choose yourselves a bit
100% choose
yourselves a bit
and
more.
learn to say no.
Yeah, and it's okay, because guess what, when you say no, guess what's going to happen? The world still going to spin. Right, sorry. Okay. Theatre stage or community hall?
Theatre stage, man. Lights, camera, action.
Come on, action! I can't wait to go to Brixton, I'm not gonna lie. I'm honestly so excited. Okay, silence or music?
Do you know what? I'm gonna do this, has to be a little in-betweener because I spend a lot of time in silence. I live on my own, I've lived on my own for I'm very quiet at home.
Yeah.
and then everybody gets me on 1,000 when I come out.
Yeah.
So silence and music when it calls me.
Okay, I like that. Oh, music when it calls me. I like that. Okay, one word to describe creativity.
A spiritual experience.
Oh, I like that. I like that. One thing young people don't get told enough.
How amazing they are.
Yeah. You know what? That's a reminder to me to tell my young person at home he's amazing. Okay. One thing that you're still healing. Because we did not even have enough time to divulge. We're going to have to do a part 2.
I am still healing. I am still processing a lot of things. I have complex PTSD. I got diagnosed with that about 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I think the one thing I'm still healing is my mind.
Okay. Alright, nice. I love that. Would you say creativity saved you?
1,000%. If I was not a creative, I don't know where I'd be, man.
Right.
I seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know any other path to take.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And just to touch on that, because you was earlier, I didn't want to interrupt you because I'm learning. Every time I'm learning, I'm going to say I'm learning, okay? Just to remind myself, because it makes me feel good. But clean break saved my life. Before clean break, I was doing a lot of things, dropping a lot of things off people I didn't need to, doing a lot of things that I was just like, I went to clean break and it absolutely saved me. It introduced me to performing arts in a way that's like, oh, I'm going to do this. After that, I met Ace. We did the drama course together.
I've done
on the show.
I've done a workshop for Ace as well.
Yeah.
He was a younger person.
Really?
Not as young as yourself, but
It makes sense. and it honestly changed my mindset, saved my life in terms of choices that I was making. So I agree with that. All right, guys. So that's quick fire round over. How was that?
That was absolutely good.
Whoa. Let's get a round of applause.
We used to do this. That's a round of applause.
I love it. Yes, it is. We are bringing this back, guys. Okay, so next up we do have our riddle segment.
I'm not good at stuff like this.
You know what? It's fine. So just so you know, I've nailed it down. Me and my man GBT. We've kind of brought it down to kind of things we've been talking about. You know what I'm saying? The creative expression. Arts in the arts field and whatever, and
I'm just rubbish at stuff like
okay,
this.
so let's just get right up into it, guys. This is the riddle segment. Okay, so riddle number 1. I have no voice, but I help people speak. I have no body, but I help people move. I can heal without medicine. What am I?
See, my brain just go blank.
No,
See, the intelligence has gone.
You got this.
Say it again.
I have no voice, but I help people speak. I have no body, but I help people move. I can heal without medicine. What am I? I'm going to give you a hint. We literally just spoke about it.
Music?
You and myself.
Creativity?
Yay!
Oh, wonderful. Did you see how serious my face has got now? Like, where I'm like...
No. So all of them are along the lines of that.
No, that's fine, Fran, but this is the logic. I use the right side of my brain 90% of the time, not the logical side. You understand?
Yeah, no, I hear that. You know, that's why I love riddles so much, because it's not something that I'm necessarily good at. But I would force my friends to play it, and they'd be like, Fran, and I'm just like, because I like it makes me use the other side of my brain that I'm not used to using that much. Like, you actually made it through uni and got a degree. I ain't even got that far yet. So you know how to use that side of your brain. You don't speak to Chia like that.
We haven't talked about the uni experience yet.
Okay, fair. We'll get into that on part 2, guys. Wait, is that you agreeing that we're going to do a part 2?
Yeah, we'll do a part 2.
I'm so excited. Okay, so riddle number 2 on part 2. Boom. See how that felt? Okay, I'm invisible, but I change lives. I grow when shared, not when kept. Systems fear me, but people need me. What am I?
energy.
Dara can join in as well. Can we just say big up to Dara? Dara's here behind the scenes.
Hi,
Come on,
Dara.
Queen. Big up to Dara.
You said it's invisible.
Yes.
So it's like some energy or the divine or God or universe or something like that.
What do you get out of all of them things?
Love, joy, encouragement. I don't know.
Any thoughts, Dara? I'll read it again. I'm invisible, but I change lives. I grow when shared, not when kept. Systems fear me, but people need me. What am I?
Power?
Yeah, and what do people with power try to withhold from people?
Truth?
Yeah!
Yes.
My first thought was love,
I
but
thought
then
of that because I went love and then really you should go from love to truth.
I was waiting for you to say. That's why I was like, keep saying the
It's
word.
alright.
But it's okay. Yeah, we were. Well done, guys. Okay, this is the last riddle.
Thank goodness.
Okay. All right. This is fun, but a little bit deep. What gets stronger when it's broken and rebuilt? Oh, this one's good. What gets stronger when it's broken and rebuilt?
It's like roots of something. Like
Hey, come on. How was that?
good.
Good?
I feel good about that game. Well,
I love that you feel good about it. We want our guests that come on to Midweek Talks with Fran to feel good when they're leaving the show, man. We're coming to the end. I'm happy that you feel good. Yeah, we still got a little bit. But we're starting to round up. We're starting to round up very, very soon. What do you think is... Because how long have you been out of youth work for a while?
Not that long, you know. It's probably about just about a year and a bit is where I've... Because it's not youth work. Remember, I've done youth work, creative youth support worker, then a specialised worker. They've had different names, but working with young people... I'm kind of transitioning slowly out of that. Okay, so with your experience and you know just all of the kind of lessons that you've learned, etc. What do you think is needed in the system now that could help young people? Like if there was something, if you had freedom of being able to make anything happen. Let's say it's a wish, a genie wish. Yeah, let's call it a genie wish. I'm making this up. If I had a wish,
for the system that's...
We need to bring creativity properly back into the educational system because, drama, all of these things, they're less and less and less and less unless a young person has chosen it. Whereas we need to start seeing creativity as the tools that they help to support in terms of creativity, in terms of helping people to be able to speak, in terms of confidence, in terms of standing in front of other people, in terms of understanding other perspectives, in terms of lack of censorship. The reason why you enjoyed Clean Break is because there's no censorship in that creativity. You get to explore self.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? And you get to explore your trauma in a safe way that you don't leave and you don't carry with it, but you've been able to create something amazing with it, a poem, a piece of writing, and then it helps other people. So to me is creativity at the forefront. And also just to say, creativity is not about creative people. It's about using the other side of your brain, the right side, which allows you to dream, which allows you to manifest, which allows you to think off the grid. Most people are using the logic all the time, but the right side will allow you to be able to use your heart. And if you want to manifest and think of other things that you want, you've got to allow your brain to be able to go off. And that's what creativity does. You explore stuff that wouldn't necessarily be normal, which is why when you go to the theatre and stuff, you're like, wow.
But in terms of places like Clean Break, like, are there more places like that you know of? Like, are there? Because I don't know.
Clean Break still stands on its own. It's still there. It just doesn't have an educational department anymore. So they just kind of focus a lot more on performances.
I do performances.
There is still lots of organisations, that are attached to kind of youth organisations that do creative rehabilitation. I mean, there's a big organisation called, I think it's the NSPCJA, the National Criminal Justice Arts Allowance, which is literally people that do music therapy, art therapy, dance therapy, all sorts of stuff, and they work specifically with people that have had all different types of issues, but it's kind of a bit more geared to younger people.
Okay.
But I would just say to anyone that's of any age, just get yourself a creative pursuit and stop saying it's about creative people. If you're into poetry, go and find a poetry class to go and join.
Yeah. So, off the back of that,
do dance.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yesterday, I went to a chess club. So on my own.
I was in chess club.
I beat two people. Can you?
Yeah.
I taught myself about nearly 2 years ago now online, and now I'm literally yesterday by myself. I went to Peter's event. Big up to Peter and Cinder House, guys. They had me yesterday. It was brilliant. They do a Mario Kart games night, and then they have people playing chess. It's on every Tuesday. It was so much fun, and I beat 2 people.
Have you seen The Queen's Gambit?
What's The Queen's Gambit?
Watch that on Netflix, The Queen's Gambit. It's all about a young girl who learns to play chess, and she goes all the way with it from a little girl all the way up. I think you'll like that.
Whoa! Okay. All right, cool. So I need to get that in. But yeah, sorry, that made me think about going to do something, because literally last night I was there and I was really happy. I went by myself as well, so I was quite proud.
That's it. Do what your heart would like to do. You don't have to wait for your friends to be involved in the same sort of things.
Right.
You don't, because otherwise sometimes you won't ever do it, because they're like, oh, let me do that, or whatever it's blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If you want to dance, step out your comfort zone and go to a class. Yes, of course it's going to feel uncomfortable initially, but go for it. If you want to learn an instrument, go and do the instrument. You can do whatever you want, but have a creative outlet, because it will be good for your whole nervous system to have a creative outlet.
How would you advise someone, let's say that usually uses the logical part of their mind, wants to get into creativity, feels like, oh, I'm not an artist, I'm not a this, I'm not a that. Is there something that you can say to them, you know what, like an activity or something that you would encourage them to maybe start to do? Like
creative writing.
Yeah,
it's an easy thing to do.
Just
what do you think? What do you know? Anything that you think about, sit down and write it. Anyone can write a poem.
Right.
Yeah. You can play around with that anyhow. Watch poems. Just think of a topic, something that is interesting to you, that is important to you.
Yeah.
Sit down and write about it, and don't judge it. Because we didn't talk about me being a creative art therapist, but the creative art therapy is in the process, it's not in the product. It's in what's happening. So if I was working with you and you said I'm trying to deal with this emotion, I'd say to you, okay, draw that. And then you observe. I could tell you to tell me, why did you choose that colour? And you'll be able to unlock, because it unlocks unconscious parts of the brain. So if you can just sit at home, even if you just want to draw, get a therapy colouring book. There's nothing wrong in sitting down and colouring while you're watching whatever rubbish you're watching on the TV.
Honestly, I would advise people to do it, because I've gone and done these things myself. I went to the what's the little art shop thing? It's something for you, and bought some canvases and literally taught myself. Actually, when I was in hospital, I started with the colouring pens, but I've taught myself to do art off of Pinterest, little videos.
And YouTube,
I see the picture. Yeah, you can literally follow it step by step. Like, I've got pieces in my house that I follow step by step, and it's not from the top of my head, but it still looks good and it makes me feel proud. So I would second that as well. Writing, or even paints or canvases or whatever. Just do the old school, even print your hand like your child.
And there's lots of stuff on Eventbrite. If you look on Eventbrite, there will be paint clubs for adults, you know, t-shirt printing, you know, there's lots of different
adults
stuff. Yeah,
Tara, can we go? Please, can we go? Let's find this
Pottery is good. You know, if you actually understand the connection of using clay again in creative art therapy, the clay, because it's a natural mineral, again, squeezing clay. Why do you think children squeeze plasticine? You know, children that have got ADHD and stuff like that. So when you're doing the clay and stuff like that, and get used to using your motor skills. You know, everyone's going tech, but you need to be using your senses: smell, taste, touch, hear. You know, all of these things. Keep those going. So that's why even writing with a pen, not in your phone when you write, you need to keep your motor skills going, because it's creating a connection between your heart and your head.
Wow, people. I hope you guys are listening and taking notes, please. Like, this is special stuff for you guys to hear in January. There's a reason Why? I know it seems like I come here and then, everything is done for a reason. Listen up, guys, because these skills will literally just help you with your confidence and how you feel, and then it helps with the choices that you make. And these are also things that have helped myself, because God loves me and makes people like Chia come into my path, and the Hub Live Radio have given me this platform to be able to sit here, and I'm choosing to share these things with you. Do you know what I mean? And I hope that tools, guys.
You need to imagine it as a toolbox. You see, at home you have your screwdriver and all these things when stuff happens. The reason why we do all these things is your toolbox. So when you sit down and you say, oh, I'm feeling down, oh, I can pick up my colouring book. It's a tool. Because you know that 15 minutes is going to relax you. Whether you do a bit of yoga, whether you get up and you listen to your favourite song, you're like, yeah, move some energy. It's a tools.
Yeah. What other? Do you know what? I'm going to ask you to just drop. What are the 5 key tools that you think belong in the toolbox, and then we'll ask for you to do a final gem. Which, by the way, you've had a lot of gems. Like, you guys have had so many gems today. Y'all can thank me in the comments. Thank you. But yeah, 5 key tools.
Breathe. Please remember your breath. Yeah, I know it seems like a really simple thing, but most people, when you're going into fight or flight or you're stressed or whatever, you stop breathing. So if one thing that you can remember to do is breathe, remember your breath. That means that you're alive. Yeah, move. Yeah, move your body. Yeah, whether you dance, whether you walk, whether you run, whatever it is, get energy moving around your body. Relax. Find ways to be able to relax. Being still is also very, very important.
I find it hard.
Don't be afraid of what your thoughts, don't be afraid of those things. Let them come up, because most people busy themselves with productivity. They're busy all week because they're running from the stuff that needs to come up, but then that's why you never really get an opportunity to heal. Find a creative outlet. Everybody's got a little something, or connect back to something that when you was a young person was good for you. Your inner child knows what you like. But sometimes when people become an adult, they go, oh, I'm too old to play the guitar. No. That's what your inner child liked. Now do it because it makes you feel good. Last thing, just practice your creative expression. Just be you. Don't follow the crowd. Be you. Too much clones out there right now.
Bruh, they actually make it. I was watching a documentary about even how IVF and stuff started, and how all of that stuff. So the cloning is the thing. Be individual.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Be unique. There is no other version of you anywhere in the world. So why do you recreate what you saw someone else? That's for them.
Right.
Take your own divine. When God drops an idea in your head, it's for you.
Yeah.
So act on it.
Right. Okay.
Not what you see other people do. What God gave to you.
And that's whether or not people understand it as well. I feel like last year was the first year I kind of was like, shaking off the thing of whether or not people get something. I'm still gonna go for it.
No, as long as you get it.
As long as I get it is what I really want to sit in more in 2026. Like, and as long as it's not hurting anyone, it's not harming anyone, it's not costing anyone but yourself money, because investing in yourself is important too, guys. Investing in yourself, like, okay, cool, sometimes, life has it, so you might have to be little tight pocket here, little tight pocket there, but invest in your creative expression, in your creative outlet. You know what I'm saying? If some of us will get some broccoli, some of us will do other things with that, some of us will buy another pair of shopless this year. I'm trying.
Do you need?
I know, but the thing is when the event happens, because the thing is with being on the Hub Live Radio, it's like they always got stuff happen, and it's like, ooh, I want to look cute all the time, but do I need?
Do you know what I believe about fashion? And I've always been like that since I was young.
Yeah.
I buy unique things that suits me, and it will last a lifetime. So people, 10 years on, people say, where did you get that jumper? 10 years, because it still looks good. Because it's your own unique fashion. But if you follow fashion, you'll become out of fashion, because something else is going to come in. So just find your unique flair and rock with that. And it's so what if you wear something 2 or 3 times? So what? It's your favourite. Like, what the hell?
Y'all gonna see me wear my stuff. No,
that's rude.
No, it's fine.
That's good.
No, you can say that online in heaven too. Well, the last thing I want to say, sorry, because I keep looking at time and we still got more of it. Thank you, Kyle, for making time stop for us. But I want to speak about your nose piercing, okay? Because you've had it ever since I've known you. I
didn't actually. I think when I was 30, I got my nose pierced.
Okay.
And then I started to wear the nose chain. don't even know, because it's been about 12 or 13 years or something like now that I've been
done the chain. Okay.
I can't even remember why I started, but it was also an OD to my nose.
What do you mean?
I grew up with people saying you're big nose, you got a spread nose, you this, that, and the other. And I didn't feel bad about it because it's my dad's nose and I was proud. But I just got to a place and I was like, you want to look at my nose? Now you really gonna look at my nose. And then also, it's just my creative expression as me. Most people from far will say to me, I knew it was you because I saw the...
Okay.
And an OD to the ancestors, OD to wearing gold, and also my great grandmother is a full-on Indian. So it was like a connection to my...
What country are you from?
My mum's from Jamaica and my dad is from St. Kitts.
Okay.
But as you know, there's been lots of other indentured slaves that was taken over to the Caribbean, which is why we've got Chinese, Asian, and whatever it is. So it was just a mixture of all of who I believe my ancestry is. They called, actually, the original black Indians are called Dravidians. So that's
really? They're not more?
Dravidians.
Dravidians.
But we won't go into all of that depth, but going back to source. And gold is a frequency.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of black people, we wear it. There's a frequency to gold. It's mineral.
Oh, really?
It's a mineral, guys. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to do the part.
So I even the gold too. We think it's all ghetto. No, there's a frequency to the gold.
I think I'm gonna get a gold tooth this year. I think I might. I'm
Take it
considering
back.
it. I might do. Because you know what? I like it in a guy too. You know. I like a gold tooth in a guy.
I won't even say this loud, but yeah, that used to be my weakness when I was
really. You see?
It would just grin and it would just go ching ching.
I'm like, oh, okay, hi, I see you. How you doing?
They just used to be bad man though.
Yeah, but nowadays it's so interesting because of how like things have developed that you've got black people in different places. Like I know like teachers and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? But Shorty's he's anyways. Yeah.
Don't expose.
But anyways, yeah. But I think it's cute, guys. Keep the gold team coming, guys. Maybe, I mean, yeah, whichever way. Let me not box you in. However you feel like expressing yourself, express it. Where can the people find you on Instagram? Tell us again about the shows coming up, the date, or where they can find the information for it. Let us know.
So yeah, just find me on Instagram. Really, there ain't anywhere else really to find me. So Chia Phoenix. Phoenix like the bird, to remind people that I'm always rising again. I do some creative art therapy and readings with people. It's called The Journey Within, which is just supporting people to have a better relationship with themselves, which is a kind of, I guess, mentoring for adults, but in a creative, spiritual aspect. But you just reach out to me on Instagram, really. And the play or production that I'm in is called 9/16. Because the thing happened at 9/16 of a second.
Oh.
Right, so it's really specific.
Okay.
And that is going to be on tour. I can't tell you all different places, but Bristol, I think Nottingham, Brighton, a few different places, from February to March, and then in May we are at Brixton House. The tickets are not up yet on Brixton House site, but they will be soon. Brixton House is a black production celebrating black women, women who have more of a mature age, and it's just a good piece. It's a modern piece. It's not a fantasy piece. It's a piece that should feel empowering for women, black women, or women of all ages, really, but led by black women. Is a better way to say it.
And also, men can come to, men can pay for their women to come to.
No,
we take all the checks
men
over
to
here.
come. I do have another page. I haven't done so much with it in the last couple of years, but I do have another page. It's called He's Vulnerable When. So I created a documentary which was giving voice to black men's vulnerability in the UK. So I made a documentary. My aim is to make a second part of the documentary because I wanted to talk to 50 black men. But if you want to go over there, then you might see something a bit positive. And I do work with men. We just didn't talk about.
Yeah. We told you lot part two. Like there literally is not even enough time. But thank you guys for listening to Midweek Talks with Fran.